connected to the infamous P. Diddy freak-offs. But before these suits are filed, some celebs are rushing to settle. And if these startling accusations are true, could they face charges? We'll break it all down with former federal prosecutor Gene Rossi.
And were somehow involved, whether it be even peripherally involved, and did not try to stop it, especially with regard to minors, then it's my view that you have liability on the civil side.
Every A-list celebrity from Leonardo DiCaprio to Mariah Carey can be seen partying with the disgraced rapper at his various get-togethers dating back to 1998.
High-profile people in the entertainment industry are speaking out about what could be next.
These are the Diddy pictures Hollywood doesn't want you to see. Every A-list celebrity from Leonardo DiCaprio to Mariah Carey can be seen partying with the disgraced rapper at his various get-togethers dating back to 1998.
Shocking new developments in the case of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, who's now behind bars on serious racketeering charges. While Diddy faces his day in court, his celebrity friends have a new fear. They might be next on the chopping block. Sources say the feds have seized recordings of some disturbing freak-off parties hosted by Diddy, where well-known stars were allegedly involved. We're about to break down the jaw-dropping details that are quickly coming to light, and if the rumors are true, we'll be hearing some very familiar names from the feds soon. Diddy's arrest on racketeering charges has set off alarm bells throughout the entertainment industry. He's been accused of a slew of heinous crimes, but he might not be going down alone. With more than 100 civil lawsuits filed by alleged victims, many top celebrities are finding themselves in the feds' spotlight. According to sources, Diddy's parties were not just a typical Hollywood bash. The feds have recordings from his infamous freak-off parties, exclusive gatherings that may reveal much darker activities. Speculation is swirling that some of Hollywood's biggest stars were there, and now that these recordings are in the government's hands, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. Fans and insiders alike believe that some disturbing details will soon be revealed, exposing who exactly participated in these controversial gatherings.
This comes after more than a dozen civil suits were filed against Diddy, alleging he was a kingpin in a sex trafficking scheme that lasted decades. The civil suits and federal indictment all lay out a similar pattern. Diddy or his associates drugging victims, often sexually assaulting them, forcing them to have sex with prostitutes, and filming all of this. These scenarios were dubbed freak-offs by Diddy, and that term was listed in multiple civil suits and in the indictment. The feds say they have recordings of this too, and that's what led up to Diddy's arrest. So we know for sure Diddy is somehow featured in these recordings, but there are also rumblings that other high-profile names were caught on camera too. We got this info from Houston-based attorney Tony Busby. He's the lawyer behind more than 100 civil claims against Diddy that are expected to be filed over the coming weeks. This week alone, 7 civil suits were filed listing Diddy as the defendant. The allegations range from 1995 to 2021, with multiple accusations of rape, one of a minor. And according to Busby, more lawsuits are on the way, with some major celebrity names also attached. I talked to Busby just one day after he announced the suits and asked him about these celebrities.
A lot of people are talking about names that could come up in these lawsuits. You referenced that some of these names are pretty high profile and could shock us. What can you tell me about those names? Are there a lot of people that could be implicated in future crimes? Is it possible that the things that will be listed in these future lawsuits could be prosecuted? What can you tell me?
Well, I'm very careful to talk about whether someone did or did not commit a crime. You know, the civil system is very different than the criminal system. The criminal authorities are very particular about which claims that they pursue because the standard of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. In the civil system, the standard of proof is more likely than not, or preponderance of the evidence. So it's a lot lower standard in the civil system. So, but to answer your question as far as crimes, I won't comment on that. But as far as whether there will be additional individuals, people that we all know joined in some of these suits, there's no doubt that will be the case. There's no doubt that some of these events and these assaults occurred at particular people's homes, some venues, some hotels, some clubs. We know that there were people in the room when some of these things occurred. It's my view that if you participated in it, if you benefited from it, if you encouraged it, if you watched it go on, and were somehow involved, whether it be even peripherally involved, and did not try to stop it, especially with regard to minors, then it's my view that you have liability on the civil side. So that's what we're looking at. And obviously, we want to be very careful about who we name because, I don't want, an error in that respect is not good for anyone. And I'm not going to be the person that starts naming names of potential people and smearing people for no reason, because the case is about credibility. So I have made sure that each of these people that we represent currently are people that I'm proud to represent and I believe in, and I believe in their case. But I want to make sure that we include every potential liable party when we file the case.
Big names like Ashton Kutcher, Mariah Carey, Kim Kardashian, Jennifer Lopez, and Jay-Z are expected to be among some of the names exposed. Are they caught up in this web? And just how deep does this scandal go?
These are the Diddy pictures Hollywood doesn't want you to see. Every A-list celebrity from Leonardo DiCaprio to Mariah Carey can be seen partying with the disgraced rapper at his various get-togethers dating back to 1998. Here's a shot from one of Diddy's white parties with Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton in the background. And here he is with Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore at another party in 2009. Russell Brand, Chris Brown, Lil' Kim, Nicole Richie and Tommy Lee are just a few of the other big-name guests, while another picture from Diddy's East Hampton house shows two women pouring champagne down another woman's throat in the pool. It comes after Diddy was arrested on racketeering and sex trafficking charges, with authorities claiming he threw massive sex parties that were often recorded. Diddy has pled not guilty and faces a minimum of 15 years behind bars if convicted.
Suge Knight, no stranger to controversy himself, recently weighed in on Diddy's situation in a jailhouse interview. He didn't hold back. Suge pointed fingers at several people, claiming that Diddy was deeply connected with celebrities like Usher, Justin Bieber, and Clive Davis. He went on to say that there were also connections to the FBI and even underage girls. According to Suge, Diddy's problems don't end there. He suggested that Diddy's years-long addiction to drugs is only making his time behind bars worse, hinting that withdrawal is hitting him hard. Suge's comments add even more layers to this unraveling scandal.
Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him. You're right.
Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby, used to work for Interscope. This guy's job was to bring underage girls and have sex with employees and other artists, to the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing. How they raided Puppy House for sex trafficking, they raided his friend house for sex trafficking.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He never was an artist.
Sure. Can you say something? Can you say something
positive? When you look at the whole situation,
because you only got.
Everything I'm saying is positive. And I gotta hand him a call right back.
All right, Suge, you call back. Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality, to time, versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he's been involved with the FBI of his career. He got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. My artist, one of the worst mistakes I could have made was protecting my artist is doing a deal at Interscope. When my artists used to pull up in valet, the Murdoch building, they'd get out, they'd smell like weed. When they clothes smell like weed. When they made it to any office, it would smell like weed. Those guys, for my artists, they introduced cocaine to my artists. So once they got on cocaine, once they got on drugs, once they got on alcohol, and that's when the weird stuff happened. And I think that's what took Puffy down that lane. Then you got to remember, Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell.
Simon, come on.
You better believe it. Alcohol, drugs. He compromised his manhood. Because he was taught that. He got Usher as a kid. They never recorded no songs, but alcohol, drugs, sex. Justin Bieber. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control.
Sometime before his arrest, Diddy released a video that left fans speculating. In it, he named several high-profile celebrities, and many believe it was a thinly veiled threat, a warning that he might be willing to rat out his famous associates. If Diddy were to cooperate with the feds, this could mean serious consequences for a long list of stars. Was Diddy preparing to take everyone down with him? And what secrets might he reveal to cut a deal?
They've been silent, and Diddy has sent out the call, or should I say, the list of those who should answer the phone. Here he is with his nephew, naming names as they say. Take a listen.
Drake. Oprah. J-Lo. A-Rod. Will Smith. Alicia Keys. Look at this pretty hair. Black King God, dude. Justin Bieber. Kevin Hart. Mark Wahlberg. Snoop. DJ Khaled.
As the investigation ramps up, Diddy's celebrity friends are scrambling to sever any visible connections with him. Singers like Pink and Usher have taken swift action, deleting their Twitter histories to cover their tracks. Whether this is an attempt to distance themselves from Diddy or erase evidence remains unknown, but it certainly raises eyebrows. Could this be a sign that some celebrities know their names will be in the spotlight soon?
P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did.
I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get!
In a move that has left fans and social media users puzzled, music icons Usher and Pink have mysteriously deleted their entire Twitter histories following the high-profile arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. The deletions have sparked a flurry of speculation as Diddy faces serious charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Usher, known for his long-standing friendship with Diddy, wiped his ex, formerly Twitter, account just days after the arrest. This sudden action raised eyebrows, especially given Usher's prominence in the music industry and his ongoing tour. Similarly, Pink's ex account now shows only 2 retweets from over 5 years ago, sparking rumours that her deletions may also be connected to the unfolding legal saga surrounding Diddy. Fans have questioned the timing of these deletions, with some wondering whether it could be a preemptive move to distance themselves from Combs. Usher and other celebrities, such as Neo, have been mentioned in past lawsuits involving Diddy, particularly in witness testimonies related to the mogul's alleged physical abuse of singer Cassie Ventura.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes.
While Usher has not been accused of any crimes, his close ties to Diddy, having lived with him during the early days of his career, have come under scrutiny. As Diddy's legal battles intensify, many in the entertainment industry may follow Usher and Pink's lead by clearing their social media histories. Diddy's arrest has triggered widespread concern that more celebrities may be implicated, and dozens of high-profile figures connected to him could face subpoenas as investigators probe deeper into the disturbing allegations. With Diddy at the centre of multiple lawsuits and new revelations emerging, the ripple effect of this scandal could drag numerous A-listers into the fray. With the potential for damaging information to surface, the entertainment world is bracing for a storm that may expose more unsettling connections to Diddy's notorious lifestyle, putting the careers and reputations of some of Hollywood's elite at risk. As the case develops, more celebrities might opt for the tweet and delete strategy, hoping to shield themselves from further scrutiny.
In the case being built by the government, Diddy's co-conspirators are mentioned numerous times. These names are still classified, but sources close to the investigation say they could include a list of well-known figures. With over 100 civil lawsuits filed and powerhouse attorney Tony Busby representing many of the victims, the pressure is on for the government to deliver justice not just to Diddy, but to anyone involved in these alleged crimes. It's only a matter of time before the true extent of this scandal is exposed.
Here's a question for you. Who else could be in trouble after Sean Diddy Combs' arrest and indictment? I think that's a fair question. It's a fair question because Damian Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, whose office is prosecuting Combs, was essentially asked just that. And it's a fair question. Why? Because going back to the indictment, what is alleged? He is charged with racketeering conspiracy, namely agreeing with others to further a criminal enterprise that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice. That this enterprise had members and associates. And prosecutors say he engaged in persistent and pervasive abuse of women that went on for a long period of time, that there were witnesses to this abuse, that Combs has employees that carry out and facilitate and cover up abuse and illegal sex acts. In fact, the government said they interviewed over 50 witnesses and victims. So what I'm trying to say is he is charged with racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution. So the government is making the case that he did not do this on his own. He did not act alone. There were people who were around him. There were people who were helping him. And at the very least, there were witnesses to what was going on. I mean, for a conspiracy and criminal enterprise, racketeering, those kind of charges itself, you need more than just yourself. You need others. Someone needs to be a part of it. And just to go back to the indictment, one of the central allegations are these alleged illegal sexual events. So coming from the indictment, it says, quote, Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs. Freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, pleasured himself during, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes, unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. It goes on to say that members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs. And that has become the question. Could other people be in trouble? Could they be prosecuted too? Now, to be clear, Combs is the only one who's currently charged right now. He's the only one named in that indictment. No one else is actually listed in that indictment. No one else is referenced by name. It is very general. But in the government's detention memo to the court arguing why Combs should be denied bail, and by the way, he's since been denied bail twice, they write, quote, the investigation into his and other co-conspirators' conduct is active and ongoing.
The coming days will reveal a lot more about Diddy's secrets and those who partied alongside him. If the feds have their way, Hollywood's elite might soon be facing some uncomfortable truths. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the stories that shape entertainment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.